Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Law Murray on your TL, and I'm going to tell you now. This is the 2023 NBA Epitome Game Series, where I pick out one game from each team from the last regular season. I am putting the spotlight on the biggest weakness of the 14 teams that missed the playoffs and the biggest strength of the 16 playoff teams from the regular season. This installment features the Minnesota Timberwolves. We are in the second half of this series, and every team left won at least one playoff game. That includes the Timberwolves, who are never more than 2 games over 500 at any point of the season, only had 27 games with Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert playing together, and were literally fighting each other in a critical season finale. But the Timberwolves did make the playoffs, and a big part of it was a top 10 defense and the dynamic play of all-star Anthony Edwards. The epitome game for the Timberwolves came at home against the Grizzlies on the last day of November. It was a rematch of what was a memorably chaotic postseason series from the previous spring. On this night, Minnesota thrived in chaos. This was one of the first games that Karl-Anthony Towns missed due to a calf injury that cost him months of the season, and Rudy Gobert got in early foul trouble. Look how they guarded John Morant, though. Austin Rivers in the ISO, Jalen Noel helping at the nail, strips Morant, forces that turnover. Morant had only 1 assist and 4 turnovers in the first quarter. The Timberwolves would actually be down at halftime, despite the fact that they forced 10 turnovers in the second quarter alone. Anthony Edwards ices this pick and roll with John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. It leads to a D'Angelo Russell steal, a look ahead, and Jalen Noel cashes out on the 3 on the fast break. That helped keep Minnesota close. Anthony Edwards did not make a field goal in the middle 2 quarters of this game, but his defensive impact was tremendous. Here he is as Brandon Clark rolls. Tyus Jones tries to hit David Roddy on the skip to the opposite corner. Edwards gets his hands up. It's a live ball turnover. Fast break points for Jalen Noel. Anthony Edwards wound up having 17 fourth quarter points, but he also had 5 steals for the game, including 3 in the third quarter alone. Look at the multiple efforts on this possession. Jalen Noel fights over a screen. Gobert is there to help. John Morant sees Anthony Edwards. He passes back out to Tyus Jones. Noel is there. D'Angelo Russell helps off of Roddy. Forces an air ball, shot clock violation on back-to-back possessions in the fourth quarter. Minnesota was out-rebounded 59-29 in this game, but they allowed only 17 assists while forcing 27 turnovers. Only 4 teams had a higher percentage of turnovers forced than Minnesota last season. The Timberwolves are not as likely to force turnovers when Cat and Gobert share the floor. With Towns out, Minnesota was far more aggressive defensively to overcompensate. But the Timberwolves were better everywhere else defensively with the 2 bigs on the floor, especially when it came to defending shots, defending without fouling, and ending possessions with rebounds. Minnesota will be eager to see what a greater sample size from their bigs give them next season, preferably without the infighting. Stay tuned for the next installment of the 2023 NBA Epitome Game Series featuring the LA Clippers.